Yo, what's up, world? It's your buddy Philco here, and these are all my friends. This is Boo Boo. This is Doo Doo. This is from that movie. Got the name of the movie, but she's cool. And this is my black Pikachu. Keeping it real. So you're probably wondering, where have I been all these years? Well, as everybody knows, I travel a lot. But I've decided to stay in this one place that I really like a lot. And that place is
Panama.
Panama. P-A-N-A-M-A. Panama. And today, along with my white face, we're going to talk about our 5 favorite things about Panama. I'm doing number 1, you're doing number 2. I'm doing number 3, you're doing number 4. And together, we're going to do number 5. Sound fair?
Yeah.
The first thing I love a lot about Panama is this. The money. They actually use American dollars. American dollars. It feels like I'm home, but I'm not. This is Lincoln. They say he freed the slaves. That's debatable. And his wig, I like it. I would wear this if I were him. So this is definitely my first reason, because understanding things is much easier for me when I see how much it costs in dollars. I know exactly how much I'm spending because I get my money in dollars. And Bitcoin, that's a different conversation. So in Panama, there's no pesos. They actually have a Balboa and certain Balboa coins. But basically, the Balboa is tied to the worth of the US dollar. So it's generally the same thing. Makes things way more comfortable for me. Reigning Balboa, baby. And number 2, according to my white face, is
Безопасность.
it's not dangerous. It's pretty safe in Panama. Now, when people think about Central American or South American countries, they tend to think they're very dangerous. And there is a lot of truth to that. But that's not Panama. So for example, here is ChatGPT's list of the top 5 safest countries in Latin America. You have Costa Rica, Uruguay, Chile, Panama at number 4. Then you have Argentina. We've been to Argentina. But other countries around Panama have a bad reputation when it comes to crime, like Colombia. Well, we love Colombia. It's just a little crazy. Remember that time you were in the car when we went to the Bronx in Colombia? Were you scared?
Yeah, that was very scary.
But in Panama, sure, they have some bad neighborhoods as well, but it's nothing like what we're used to in other Latin American countries.
You barely can see the homeless people outside, and they do have bad neighborhoods, but it's nothing in there, so foreigners never go there.
So there you go. Number 4 safest countries out of all the Latin American countries. It's Panama. Number 3, weather. No snow. Do you guys remember where I used to live? Yeah, I used to live in Novosibirsk, Siberia, Russia, and this is how I felt almost every day in the winter. It was cold, freezing, snow on the ground, ice, I'm falling, Russians laughing. I'm getting angry because I can't stand in the ice. I'm not an ice skater. But here in Panama, you ain't got to worry about that. Baby, catch. Just captured my wife. So basically, the weather here is constantly warm and humid. Yeah? Okay, what's number 4?
Food.
Okay, food. I don't know what to say. What do you want to say?
They have great food, different ones, so if you have some allergy or something like that, you can find any type of food. Gluten-free and maybe some bad food, but still they have a great quality of food.
Okay. And also besides that, for me it's great because they have almost every type of restaurant we have in the United States. They have right here in Panama. It almost feels like I'm at home, except most people speak Spanish more than English. One place me and my wife love to go eat and play. I know I'm 40 years old, she's 28, but we love to go eat and play at
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, here in Panama they have Chuck E. Cheese. I think 2 or maybe 3 of them.
2.
At least 2. Oh, and another one is the American Diner. Any morning when we feel like eating unhealthy food, but we're going to go to the gym afterwards, that's when we hit the American Diner out here, Panama City. Now, number 4 might sound kind of weird, but hear me out. It is not cheap to live in Panama City, and I love this, and I'll tell you why. Typically, when a place is very cheap and easy to access, it brings a whole lot of different crazy foreigners to that place, and it can really change the dynamics of the area. It can make it a little less pleasing. But here, because it's not so cheap, there's not that many people, and it's very comfortable for us. So yeah, you will see foreigners every once in a while, but there's not like a humongous influx of foreigners.
4.5 million people.
There's 4.5 million Panamanians living in Panama. And according to ChatGPT, there's only about 185,000 foreigners in Panama. That's not that many. Their immigration is very, very strict. Right, boo-boo? And I prefer things this way. We have more space to do stuff, less big lines to get into places, and traffic is not that bad at all, except for on the main street during weekdays, Calle 50, I think. Yeah, Calle 50, woo, traffic is crazy, but other than that, it's all good. And for number 5, me and Whiteface are going to decide together. Listen to us argue.
Entertaining.
Entertainment?
They have like cool cars, foreigners rent. They have big cinemas.
I would say Friendly Nations visa, but I don't think anyone watching this is going to be able to get that. Well, I'm sure there's some, but they have nothing better to do. Okay, we agree. Number 5 is going to be positive people / culture. The people are very kind and friendly. It's true, they're just kind and friendly in general. There's not that many fights. We don't get stared at that much. People don't say bad things to us in the street like ever. Even when they have protests, it still feels safe. I remember when I was living in Russia and they had an Navalny protest. You remember Navalny protest? I lived in a center. When I watched that protest go down from my window, I knew I wasn't going outside. But here, when they were having their protest right here in the center of the city near the water, me and my wife thought they were, well, what did we think?
Football team win.
Oh, me and my wife thought a football team won. We're used to protests looking very different than that. We used to seeing police being involved, aggressiveness, but it was none of that. Okay, anything else you want to add to this one?
I don't think so.
Okay, and that's our 5, and that's really it. But let me tell you this before I go. We're definitely going to make more interesting Panama videos. We're going to show you our favorite places, favorite buildings, things we like to do. So that's basically it, guys. Let me know what you think, my buddies, and we out.